Question 1. What is the ratio for sine? The answer is opposite over hypotenuse. Question 2. What is the ratio for cosine? The answer is adjacent over hypotenuse. Question 3. What is the ratio for tangent? The answer is opposite over adjacent. Question 4. Which side length is the hypotenuse? The side which is opposite to the right angle in a triangle is always the hypotenuse. In our case, the right angle is angle y, and the side which is opposite to angle y is 29. And it is also the longest side in this triangle, as the other two sides measure 21 and 20. So the longest side is the hypotenuse, hence it's 29. Question 5. Which side length is opposite of angle x? So this is angle x and the opposite side is 20. Which side length is adjacent to angle x? This is angle x and the adjacent side is 21. Find the value of the sine of x. So the formula is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite of angle x is 20 and the hypotenuse of this triangle is 29. So it's 20 over 29. Find the value of cosine of x. The formula of a cosine of an angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent side to angle x is 21 and the hypotenuse in this triangle is 29. So it's 21 over 29. Find the value of the tangent of x. The tangent of a theta or an angle is nothing but opposite over adjacent. So the opposite of angle x is 20 and the adjacent is 21. So the answer is 20 over 21. Find the value of the sine of z. So the formula is opposite over hypotenuse and the opposite of theta of z or angle of z is nothing but 21 and the hypotenuse is 29. So it's 21 over 29. Find the cosine of z. So the theta of angle z is over here and the formula is adjacent over hypotenuse for the cosine of any theta or angle. So the adjacent to angle z is nothing but 20 and the hypotenuse in our case is 29. So the answer is 20 over 29. Find the value of tangent of z. The formula for a tangent of an angle is opposite over adjacent and the opposite to angle z is 21 and the adjacent is 20. So the answer is 21 over 20. Which side length is the hypotenuse? So this hypotenuse in this case is 20 because it is right opposite to the right angle, which is angle B, and the hypotenuse measures 20. It is also the longest side in all three sides because the other two sides measure 16 and 12 respectively. Which side length is opposite of angle A? This is angle A and the opposite side is side which is over here, so this is 16. Which side length is opposite of angle C? This is angle C and the opposite side is 12. What is the value of sine of C? So the formula for a sine of any angle at theta is opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite of angle C is 12 and the hypotenuse in our case is 20. So it's 12 over 20. What is the value of the tangent of angle A or theta of angle A? So the formula for a tangent of an angle is opposite over adjacent. So the opposite side of angle A is 16 and the adjacent side is 12. So the answer is 16 over 12. The longest side in a right angle triangle is always opposite the right angle. This side is called the. So we're talking about the longest side, which is also the opposite to the right angle, and you can see that it is underlined in red in all three triangles over here, and it is the hypotenuse. How can you identify the hypotenuse of any right triangle? So we have four options here. The shortest side, no, it is the longest side. The side attached to the right angle, no, because that is the adjacent side or the leg. The side directly across from the right angle, yes. The side directly across from the most acute angle, no. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked A in this right angle triangle. So we have angle theta over here and the side A is over here. And if you see, this has a relationship of being the opposite because it falls right parallel to angle theta. If it were to fall over here, if A was over here, it would be the hypotenuse, and if this was A, it would be the adjacent side. But since it falls right opposite, we can say that it's the opposite. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked B in this right angle triangle. So B is over here, this is our angle theta, and the answer is that it has a relation of adjacent because B is the adjacent side to angle theta. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked C in this right angle triangle. So this is C and this is our angle theta. C is the hypotenuse because it falls right across the right angle and it is also the longest side in this triangle. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked C in this right angle triangle. So this is our angle theta and this is our marked side, which is C. Now C, as you can see, corresponds as the opposite side, so the answer is opposite. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked B in this right angle triangle. So this is our angle theta and this is the side B. As you can see, it's the hypotenuse because it's right across from the right angle and is also the longest side in this triangle. In relation to the angle theta, label the side marked A in this right angle triangle. So this is our angle theta and this is the side A and this is the adjacent because it falls right across from angle theta. Which side is the opposite to angle A? This is angle A and the opposite is the side 5 because it falls right across from angle A. From angle C, what side is AB? This is angle C and this is AB, and you can clearly see that this is the opposite. If you are given the two sides that are not the hypotenuse, which trig function should you use? So the two sides that are not the hypotenuse in a triangle are the adjacent and the opposite. The only trigonometry function which does not include the hypotenuse, and only the opposite and adjacent is the tangent. Because the formula for the sine includes the hypotenuse because it is opposite over hypotenuse. The formula for cosine also does, as it is adjacent over hypotenuse, but the formula for tangent does not include the hypotenuse because it's opposite over adjacent, so the answer is tangent. If you are given the opposite side and hypotenuse, which trigonometry function should you use? The only trigonometry function which requires only the opposite side and hypotenuse are the formula of the sine, because the formula of cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it does not require the opposite side and it does require the adjacent. We don't have it here. And it's not tangent because it requires the adjacent side and it's opposite over adjacent, and it does not require the hypotenuse. So the final answer is sine. If you are given the hypotenuse and an adjacent side, which trigonometry function should you use? The only trigonometry function that you can apply while using the hypotenuse and adjacent side of a triangle is the cosine, because the sine needs the opposite side over the hypotenuse, and over here we don't have the opposite side as an option, and it doesn't require the adjacent side. And we cannot select tangent either because the formula for tangent is opposite over adjacent, and we don't have the option of opposite here, and it's not asking for the hypotenuse. So clearly the final answer is cosine.